By now, you all know that I'm a certified Generation 4 hater, but I'm definitely not biased when it comes to these ranking videos. Gen 4 is, broadly speaking, a pretty decent generation of Pokemon when it comes to how well they've aged in a competitive environment. Obviously, we've got the heavy hitters like Garchomp, Heatran, and Lucario. Nah, I'm joking, that mon's awful. Lucario is the biggest industry plant of a Pokemon, and we just accept it for some reason. Bro got a movie before his generation even came out. Munchlax got to be in the anime, but he's kind of like the Rizzler. I'm just okay with blatant commercialism as long as this dude's on the product. He's just got so much aura. Obviously, I can't rank these Pokemon on my own, so today we're joined by Jimothy Cool as a way to celebrate the upcoming Year of the Horse. He's not super familiar with VGC, but I didn't get him on for the Gen 3 rankings, so he's going to be here for fun facts and comedic value. Today, let's figure out just how well Generation 4 Pokemon have aged. We'll be ranking these Pokemon in just 3 strict tiers. These Pokemon are either still viable, niche, or not viable. With still viable, meaning that we still see these Pokemon today, niche meaning that they'll hit the team builder at 4 AM when you're not in your right mind, and not viable meaning that I wouldn't even bring these Pokemon to a local tournament. This is just another long rambly video you can keep on while you clean your room or procrastinate at work or something, and we'll be doing these every Friday, of course. Also, I was really busy this week, so sorry that we had 2 ranking videos in a row. We'll have an edited video by Monday, I promise. And if you want some bonus content, go ahead and check out my new TCG Pocket channel. I'll link it in the description down below. Let's just get right into it. If you guys enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, check out the Patreon, become a YouTube channel member, hype the video, all of that. And hey, you definitely want to subscribe because at 300,000 subscribers, I'll be ranking every bench in Lumio City. Let's just begin. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are doing the Gen 4 tier list. The tier list everyone was asking for. I did the Gen 3 tier list and did A/B testing on the title, and I called Gen 3 the most overrated generation of all time. And I was mostly talking competitively because there's like 3 viable Pokemon that still exist in that gen. And a lot of the comments were like, actually, that's Gen 4. Actually, that's Gen 5. Actually, that's Gen 7. Whoever said Gen 7, you're lying, by the way. No one actually likes it that much. Like, I do, but broadly, people don't. Anyways, Jimothy Cool was supposed to be on the Gen 3 video, but he was at the zoo. How was your zoo trip, Jim?
I'll be honest, Moxie Booster, we didn't even end up going to the zoo.
You didn't go to the zoo? You could have been on the Gen 3 video.
I could have, but it was short notice. My partner got sick and we couldn't go. We planned it and everything.
Well,
we've had to postpone the zoo, but I'm glad to be here regardless. First time on the Moxie Boosted channel. Hello, everybody.
Yes.
How exciting.
This is going to be an excellent video to fall asleep to because we got to talk about all these Pokemon in VGC. Now, I know Jimothy isn't the biggest VGC head. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he plays more TCG than doubles at this point. But we'll make sure he gives us some fun info about single stuff. And for this video and this video alone, unless I get like Pokeaim on the Gen 5 video, we'll just talk about like, we'll include like some singles viability. You know, if something's like that good in singles, we'll give it like a little bit of a bump. But it's mostly going to be a doubles tier list because VGC. But yeah, anything you want to say before we start?
Yes, people know me as the guy who hates Gen 4, but in truth, I think the Gen 4 Pokedex is quite cool.
People know me as that too. I'm a mad hater of Gen 4. Every opportunity. But yeah,
I like these Pokemon. I don't know about you, but it's a cool Pokedex. There's some fun guys here.
Yeah. I love a lot of the Gen 4 Pokemon. I just think that like the games themselves were kind of like underwhelming. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. You know, I already probably said this in the intro, but like, subscribe, do whatever. We only got 3 tiers: still viable, niche, or not viable. Still viable. I'll explain this in the intro, but you know, you guys already know the deal. All right, starting off with Torterra. I mean, it got Shell
Surely
Smash.
Torterra achieves nothing, right?
It really does. In doubles, we got Icy Wind, and like an Icy Wind to most Pokemon is a minor inconvenience. You might not outspeed Golden Go anymore. For Torterra, it's like getting hit by a taxi. Like, it genuinely feels like a car accident.
That can't be good.
No, it did get Shell Smashed this gen, and I think someone day 2'd with it at like 1 regional, but it wasn't super great, and like it's competing with a ton of grass types like Rillaboom, Amoonguss, Wo-Chen, if you genuinely think it might be good, but it's not. So we really can't put it anywhere like higher than like not viable. You could say that like Rock Slide, Shell Smash could put it in niche, but I mean like Caracosta gets that too. We don't really talk about him like that. So
yes, unfortunately terrible also in singles, even with Shell Smash.
Does it just not outspeed
unfortunate things? Pokemon. Yeah, and there's better Shell Smashes, and its offensive profile is sort of destroyed by any common physical war. I mean, a regrettable fellow.
A regrettable fellow. Infernape. Now, this is interesting because Infernape, I want to put it in niche. And most people would think that Infernape has to be somewhat good because it has Fake Out, and maybe we just take a look at this. It's got Fake Out. It's got like decent speed. It hits 108, which means it's just a little bit slower than like Whimsicott and stuff and Ogerpon. But it's only got 104 in both offenses, which makes it kind of underwhelming offensively. The best it can really do is like do like close combat Fake Out stuff or like Heat Wave. And on that front, if you want like a niche firefighting type that's decent in doubles, you typically just go Blaziken if you want to do coaching stuff. So like even though Infernape has those traits, I actually still think it's probably like on the higher end of not viable in modern VGC. What about singles?
That's unfortunate. Infernape was good when it came out in Gen 4 OU because it's got a great move pool, good speed tier for the time. It has Stealth Rock, Taunt. But I suppose its utility is just not very good in doubles beyond Fake Out. Maybe Taunt, but
it does get
surely
taunt.
there's better Pokemon. Surely there's better Pokemon with those things.
Yeah, I mean, like other than that, I'm trying to think. Does it get like
perhaps
Endeavor?
or something?
Yeah, I guess Sash.
Endeavor.
Sash Endeavor isn't that bad. There's just like, you know, we compared it to like Ogerpon and stuff at that speed tier, but at that point, you know, you have Sash Whimsicott, which is a much better Endeavor user because it also has Tailwind and stuff. So like, it's even getting outclassed by like Grass types somehow at that one roll. So it kind of like ends up on the higher end of not viable. Like a niche is like really stretching it. You could put it on like the lowest end of niche, but I typically put it like higher end of not viable. Empoleon makes me sad. Empoleon genuinely makes me sad. I mean, do you want to explain the buff?
Anything fun in doubles? Oh, it's been buffed. It got competitive, I believe.
Yeah.
Is good.
It used to be Defiant.
Did it get a recovery move? I think it did.
I think it might get Roost. It does get Roost now.
It's Roost, which I think is new. And Flip Turn as well.
Yeah. You would think that this thing would be decent in doubles purely due to the fact that Incineroar exists and it's a competitive water type, right? And like a Steel, it means that like a wall out Flutter Mane and stuff, which means that Flash Cannon's like an option. But the issue is, its stats just aren't there. 111's fine, right? 111's fine. But if you want like a competitive water type, oh, completely misclicked there. You want a competitive water type?
has competitive too.
Yeah, and it's got like superior bulk all around, 95 HP, 79 defense, 125 special defense as compared to 84, 88, 101. It's even got higher speed, and Milotic also just has like a bunch of crazy tools. It used to run Coil and like Hypnosis in doubles because there just wasn't really anything you could do about it. It made it really broken in Dynamax, and it still gets like Icy Wind and stuff. It gets all these tools you want. And it's just like a bulkier Pokemon overall without like the downsides of like having like a fighting weakness.
Oh, yes.
I mean, yeah, so it's just, I don't even think Empoleon Day 2'd anything. I think it's like the highest not viable, which is really, I can't believe it. We have a trifecta of like bad in this gen.
That's regrettable.
Yeah.
I mean, Empoleon seems like it has the highest potential there. I could maybe see it having a niche on some sort of team. But
yeah, in like a lower power format. Like I think if Champions gives us Empoleon and Incineroar, but like not Milotic, people will use Empoleon. It's just right now it's not there.
And is Melodic's Mono Water a bit better? It's just neutrally better dismissed.
It's like only better because you're not taking neutral from Flare Blitz or super effective from close combat. You could argue that Steel could make it better because now you resist Fairy and you don't die to Rillaboom Woodhammer. But Milotic, does Milotic outspeed Rillaboom? Some Milotic will outspeed Rillaboom because it's 81 and Rillaboom's 85. If you're like Tim and Milotic, which is a set, you can outpace Rillaboom where this guy can't. And he's got lower physical bulk overall, does he? Yeah, about, because that HP makes up for the slightly lower defense. So I think, yeah, I don't know.
Because it's such a great special defense stat too.
It is. And like we were playing in a Terra format just recently. So like Milotic just ends up being able to just circumvent all like those downsides by Terra grassing. It really is just like Milotic makes this guy completely not useful.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. This channel is partnered with GamerSupps. If you want to support my work and get great tasting drinks, you can order GamerSupps through my link in the description down below or with code MoxieBoosted at checkout for 10% off. GamerSupps is a caffeinated product that I recommend only to my 18+ viewers, but my link will send you to their caffeine-free product section just in case. Every product purchased through my link supports my channel financially, so I'd really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. Do you want to hear something kind of cool?
Is Staraptor cool?
Staraptor's cool.
It does Intimidate.
It's niche.
Intimidate, that's good.
Yeah. There was actually, in 2018, Staraptor had a team that it ran. It was actually on a Mega Camerupt team. But Staraptor, its role in VGC is Final Gambit and nothing else.
Oh.
It's just Intimidate, Final Gambit lead. So Staraptor was like popular on Trick Room teams because effectively what you would do is you would lead off Staraptor and your Trick Room setter, and whichever mon could deal with the Trick Room, you know, whether it be like taunt or just knocking it out. Since Staraptor has like a pretty decent HP stat, 85, you would just Final Gambit the mon that was like trying to stop your Trick Room and then get your Trick Room up anyways. And because Staraptor goes down on the same turn Trick Room comes up, you just end up just getting every turn of Trick Room rather than having to,
pivot to whoever you want, and that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hyper aggressive strategy there.
I don't know. How do we feel about it in singles?
It's the mon that's always in UUBL. Like it's in between. It's like almost good because it's got Intim, it's got decent stats, it's got a pretty good move pool like Brave Bird, Close Combat. Ends up just being kind of average though. 'Cause normal flying is not the best typing. It gets eaten alive by rocks and such. And,
I mean, it's at least got that cool niche, right? The Close Combat's pretty sick.
It can also do Reckless with Brave Bird and just nuke things, but then it sort of just ends its own life.
Yeah, and like,
you know,
Double Edge is resisted by like the same thing, so like Double Edge is kind of like a useless coverage move.
I think in Gen 4 you could make it work if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
But it's a bit dubious.
Yeah.
Cool poke. I've always liked Staraptor though, it's cool.
It is really sick.
I like its Mega. I like its new Mega.
Its Mega gets the fighting type, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Mega, 140, type 100, 110. It just seems like a slightly upgraded Galarian Zapdos at that point, right?
I suppose.
Yeah. It's pretty sick. All right. Bibarel. I genuinely don't know where to put this. And it's for the same reasons that like it's kind of hard to rank it in singles because of Moody. That's its ability, right?
Yeah, it also gets simple, which is fun. But Moody would be the doubles choice because it's...
Yeah, because you get like the random stat drops. I think that it is... No one really uses it because there's other Moody Pokemon, right? Like Glalie is probably a better option, funny enough.
Smeargle.
Smeargle too. People tend to just like copy Moody off of Smeargle with like Muck in VGC. So probably here, I'll probably put it above Torterra. I don't really see it's like it does the same thing in singles with like simple. It's just a setup mon, right? You just get like the double stat boost because of that. Is it bulk up or Swords Dance that it runs?
I think it's both.
Oh, I'm thinking of Curse. It doesn't get bulk up. It's Curse.
Yeah, Curse, and it gets Swords Dance also.
Yeah.
And Moody is banned in singles, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Because it can grant evasion, or it is broken with Terra also.
Yeah.
Infinite setup.
Wow, I'm looking at this Gen 4 Pokedex, and there's a lot of Pokemon that are going to go and not viable the more I look at it.
Oh, no.
Kricketune.
Yeah, Kricketune surely does nothing in...
I'm trying to think if it does anything. Usually
Sticky Web anything in doubles? Surely not.
Not really, just because like if you set up Sticky Webs, it's like, cool, you took a turn to set up Sticky Webs, we hit you with a rock and you're dead. like the turn that you set up Sticky Webs is probably the turn that you lose them on.
And you got so much better speed control available, like Trick Room, Tailwind, Icy Wind, etc. Sticky Web feels like a...
Yeah, I mean, Kricketune, yeah, I think my only memory with Kricketune is there was a guy who was handing out Kricketune plushes at the Milwaukee Regional Championships. And I think he handed one to AIM. He handed one to Poke-Aim. And he kept pulling, like, I think AIM had like 10 of them in his pocket. And he just kept pulling out a new one every time. He like got a KO on stream. Like you can watch like back the VOD and he was just doing that. And the commentators were confused. Like where does he keep getting these? I knew where he got them. There was a random guy with just a bag full of them.
That's excellent.
But that's it. Yeah, Kricketune doesn't do anything.
I would consider that a niche, personally.
That is a niche. Yeah, it's an intimidation factor. We'll put, yeah, still viable. No. Luxray. Luxray is one of those coping Pokemon where all it really does, like people will make a case for like it has Intimidate, right? And they think that's all it really needs, but it doesn't have Taunt. I think in Gen 9 it doesn't have Electrode, but like my point is that it's just like it's a pure electric type with Intimidate. And like as far as Intimidate users go, we have Landorus and Incineroar. And as far as electric types go, there's literally Iron Hands this gen. So it's like it's just hard to compete. Like there's no reason to use like Luxray in modern VGC. It just doesn't do anything that any other.
Does it get any useful utility?
Let me see. Does it get both screens? It doesn't. Typically
I don't
in
think it's light
VGC.
screen. Oh, jeez.
Typically in VGC, unless your name's Whimsicott, you need both screens to be considered good. Whimsicott just ran like single light screen in restricted format, and that's just because it was able to like let Pokemon live Miraidon attacks, and that was basically it. But beyond that, this really is just like one of the Pokemon ever. You can just get it at like Walmart. It feels it feels like a great value Pokemon. That being said, it does have Intimidate, and like that means it gets immediate value. Probably a lot easier than like Infernape, so we'll probably put it like right there.
Same problem in singles, just a shallow move pool and little else but Intimidate.
Yeah, it's just
And
mediocre.
Slow also.
It's just mediocre. Is Trailblaze anything in singles?
Oh, it can be on the right Pokemon if you have Moxie or something, but
Say that again.
generally not.
All right. Roserade. I'm trying to think if Roserade's done anything. The thing is, Roserade in doubles is a Pokemon with one of the most... It's one of the most, not oversaturated typings. You know, it's not like there's a ton... Oh, there is a ton of grass poisons. But, like, the grass poisons it's competing with all have better things going for it. Venusaur has Chlorophyll. Victory Bell has Chlorophyll. What is that thing that Vileplume has? Oh, yeah, it's got Chlorophyll. And they all have Sleep Powder. And Roserade, rather than having, like, enough speed to outpace everything because Sun is active, has Technician and, like, a mediocre speed tier. But it does hit pretty hard. I think the only time I've ever seen people use Roserade seriously was when we were playing BDSP. There was never an official format for BDSP, but there was, like, a fan format people would play. And I think that's the only time I saw people running it. And it's just because it was like a halfway decent grass type with like a good speed tier for that game. You know, for each of games, the 90 isn't enough. Yeah, it just doesn't do anything in doubles. Oh, it's singles.
It's good in Gen 4 OU when it came out, just because it's like a pretty fast Sleep Powder user for the time. And it has Toxic Spikes, which were good. It's got a good move pool generally. I think it gets Trick. Is that correct?
No, it doesn't.
No,
Switcheroo, maybe?
Switcheroo? I hallucinated that. Forgive me.
It gets Swift. We'll pretend. Wait, hold on.
I
Covet?
hallucinated that one.
It gets Covet. Well, it's almost like Trick, but like you take it and they don't get anything.
I don't know why I thought that was the case. Forgive me.
Yeah. But I don't know. Is that basically? It's just like a pretty okay Gen 4 mon.
Yes.
Yeah. I hate to be the bearer of bad news for everyone watching this. Most of these Pokemon are just going to be kind of okay.
That's unfortunate.
It might just be the most okay generation ever made. That being said, I think as far as modern competitive goes, it's probably just above the barrel. Actually, I'd probably throw it like that. I think we're really underselling towards.
Does it get like Rage Powder or anything?
It doesn't. It literally doesn't. And that's like the frustrating thing. Like, the only thing Roserade does is... Yeah, it doesn't get Rage Powder. The only thing Roserade does is, like, threaten to Sleep Powder and not outspeed anything. So it's a little underwhelming. Rampardos. Rampardos is, like, a Pokemon that's, like, so notorious for its stat spread that there's video essays about it.
The Rampardos theorem.
The Rampardos theorem, the most famous of these. What happens when you give a Pokemon one stat and nothing else? It's 165
it's a funny Pokemon for certain.
It is. You know, I always mix this thing up with Tyrantrum. It doesn't get Rockhead, which is really crazy. You would think it would get Rockhead, but no. Do people tend to run Mold Breaker on this?
I don't know if people run this at all, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
they don't.
But I suppose... I don't know what Mold Breaker would achieve for you. I think Sheer Force is better for damage.
I think in modern... competitive Mold Breaker would just let you bypass Mimikyu, and that's basically it. You bypass Sturdy, I guess. There's not like a ton of Sturdy mons out there. But yeah, I guess Sheer Force would be better. You get Sheer Force Rock Slide, which is pretty strong off of 165 attack. You'd probably have to play this thing in like Hard Trick Room though. And you could Life Orb it even. Does it get Fire Punch? It does? Does it get Ice Punch? It does not. It gets Ice Beam.
As if it doesn't get Ice Punch.
Yeah. It gets Head Smash. That's like the draw. It's like one of the original Head Smash users. It might be the original Head Smash user. But yeah, it's got an HP stat high enough that it can Head Smash something probably like 3 times and then drop. But in all likelihood, it's probably going to drop to a Sucker Punch. 97 HP and 50 special defense, 60 defense. Like that's not... You're not tanking anything. It is one of the most lopsided Pokemon I've ever seen in my life, and I think that we have to throw it probably just below Torterra.
You think there's a chance in some limited decks format that this could be a Trick Room?
In BDS PVGC. It was a BDS PVGC mon, and it wasn't a good one. It was literally just a thing. It was just a thing that people use sometimes. Are you ready? Are you ready for your plot twist of the century?
Does Bastiodon have something to show for
Bastiodon has results in Generation 9. It actually does. So let me see if I can find it in my team builder. There was a Bastiodon team that I ran a while ago with, or that was given to me. Here it is. Oh, so there was a group of players from the Southern California region called the Bastiodon Mafia. And in Regulation G, people would run Covert Cloak Bastiodon with Body Press, Iron Defense, Wide Guard, and Foul Play, Terra Grass, and a Covert Cloak and Sturdy next to these Pokemon. And the reason for that was because Bastiodon could hypothetically wall out Calyrex Ice, I believe, and to an extent Calyrex Shadow. Foul Play was a 2-hit KO on Calyrex Shadow because it's ×4 effective. Wide Guard lets you block most of the important moves in restricted formats because you're dealing with Precipice Blades, Water Spout, Astral Barrage, Glacial Lance, like all those like busted spread moves. So you just get to wall it out. And you'd be able to Terra Grass Iron Defense and slowly beat Pokemon like opposing Zamazenta just because they take super effective Body Press, and Chien-Pao helps you out a little bit. It was a really weird team. And I don't exactly remember how it functioned, but I remember like the main draw of it was that like super positive matchup into Calyrex Ice, which typically Miraidon isn't able to get. So it was just a patch from Miraidon into Calyrex Ice, and it did nothing else ever again. But
cool though.
It has the out of all the Pokemon that we've covered so far, the best of them like that we've seen.
Something.
Yeah, it achieved something, which other Pokemon can't say they did. I mean, in singles, it's probably just another Aggron situation, isn't it?
It's pretty dreadful in singles, yeah. It's just slow with Sturdy. I guess it can set Stealth Rock in lower tiers and stuff.
What's the saying? Slow and sturdy wins the race?
Someone said that once.
Someone said that. It was me just now. Quote it. All right. Wormadams.
You want to just chuck them all in? I
mean, they get Quiver Dance off of their 68 speed. I think it's 68. Wait, no. I think that's their special attack stat. What's Wormadam? Let me see. Wormadam.
It's
36 speed. It's
horrible.
36 speed and 79 special attack. Hold on. Trash Cloak. Wormadam Trash Cloak. Surely there's something you can do. 69. It gets worse? It gets... I didn't know it
I didn't
got
realize
worse.
that.
They have different stat spreads. Wait, I feel like I knew this and I just forgot. Hold on, let's look at these. Hold on. All right, these are all going and not viable. Probably the bottom, but... All right, so 60, 85, 105, and its highest attack stat is 79. 60, 105, 85, and its highest attack stat is 79 physical. And this one's just defensive, 60, 95. This probably is the best of them because it's like a worse Forretress, right?
Yeah, that's the best one because its Bug Steel is a good typing at least, but it's just far worse than every single other.
That's crazy. Also, I completely ruined this Pokepaste. It's gone. It got I have to go find that team now. It's gone forever.
I think it's been improved by
it probably has been.
Nation.
Yeah. All right, Wormadam. I'm gonna throw them all right here. You know, if I'm being honest, it probably goes like that, There. That's probably about right. This is a dreadful
Everyone knows
list.
that Barrel is better than Wormadam.
Everyone knows that. You know, I actually, in the chat, or in the comments, if you made it...
They're saying Wormadam is not worth a damn.
If you made it this far in the video, start an argument with someone else in the comments about whether Wormadam is better than Barrel.
That's imperative.
That is, yeah, it's important you, like, actually get, like, genuinely mad. You should have to go see a therapist about your anger issues after that discussion. Or maybe don't.
Is Motham one of those fellas that randomly does something? Because it could get Rage Powder or Sleep Powder?
It is... Maybe? Certainly one of the bug flying
slow
types.
As hell.
Yeah, sleep powder. No, it doesn't get sleep powder.
Wait, it doesn't get sleep powder?
It gets quiver dance, right? Okay, all right. Quiver dance. It also has 94 attack for some reason.
It's threatening.
That is surely I'm scared of that U-turn.
I'm disappointed. It doesn't even get anything.
It's got the strut. How does Motham have a higher attack stat than Beedrill? Someone makes sense of you have spears for hands, Beedrill, and you don't hit as hard as a moth.
What are they doing with that one?
I don't know. Motham, it's probably does it get Rage Powder? That's actually a big thing to check. Rage Powder, no, okay, yeah. It doesn't get Sleep Powder or Rage Powder. It's probably lower than all these guys, actually. Unfortunately, better than Kricketune. Higher, actually, Kricketune got a higher likelihood of living a Rock Slide, so we'll throw him there. This is going horribly. This whole deck sucks.
There'll be good. There's good stuff later, folks. There's
surely,
good stuff later.
Surely there's good stuff later.
These are early game fellas. They're gonna be bad.
All right, now let's get to the next bug flying type that we have to talk about. Did you know Vespiquen is technically a defensive Pokemon?
Yeah, a bizarre Pokemon design because it's got like average defense. It looks so much better than it is. It's got a great visual.
It really
looks imposing.
This is one of the coolest Pokemon ever. I think like if there was a Pokemon that really needed a Mega, it was probably Vespiquen, and I think it should have lost that flying type. I think just pure bug would have gone crazy.
It's not doing anything with pressure, even in singles where that ability is sometimes okay. It's just dying too quickly.
Yeah. Unnerve. They got rid of Roost on it, didn't they? No. It kept Roost. But it... Oh, wait.
But the heal order.
Let me look at Gen 8, because Gen 8 is where things got weird. So... Pokemon Gen 8...
You click on Gen 8 Ubers up there. Oh.
I just went with BDSBOU. Okay, so it got Roost. If I remember... Yeah, it lost its signature moves. It lost Heal Order and Attack Order. And
what?
Oh, no, it kept Attack Order.
They got rid of Heal Order.
They got rid of Heal Order, and the reason for that is because I believe Roost is just objectively a better Heal Order. Because it gets rid of the Flying type, which is always useful on Vespiquen. I don't know, maybe I want to heal without getting hit by Earthquake. You ever thought about that one, Game Freak? But,
does it get any doubles utility? Tailwind? It looks like it could maybe get Tailwind. Probably not.
Let me go back to National Dex. Let's see if it ever got it. National Dex, please tell me you got Tailwind.
I'm doubtful.
It got Tailwind.
Oh, it had it at some point. Wow.
Yes. But at this point...
That's genuinely something, isn't it?
Yeah, at this point, we're like looking for diamonds in a turd. Let's go ahead and just toss it in. It's probably better than these guys. I would say... Just by virtue of having Tailwind. It is a Pokemon. Oh, Floatzel's funny.
Floatzel goes Swift Swim, right?
Yeah, so Floatzel was actually a good Pokemon in the first format of Gen 9 VGC. And the reason for that is because we had such a limited dex, or limited option of Pokemon. We couldn't use Fluttermane or any like the Ruins yet. Floatzel was a solid Rain Pokemon because it got access to Wave Crash. And it has 115 speed and Swift Swim. So people would Life Orb their Floatzels and just Terra Water and just one-shot things. And that was its whole deal. It was actually
That's funny because the exact same thing happened in singles. Limited decks, there's no other good Swift Swim.
Yeah.
Using Floatzel with Pelipper.
Yeah, no, it was
actually decent.
It was a solid Pokemon. Like, if Floatzel had his moment. Most Pokemon don't get their moment. Like, Vespiquen will never get its moment. Morphodame will never get its moment. Floatzel had a moment. And, like, that's all you really need. Speaking of Pokemon,
also it was competing with Barrascuda, and it was better because it had like higher HP or something.
Yeah, it can Wave Crash more often.
Wave Crash dealt more. I don't think Barrascuda
Oh,
Gets Wave Crash.
it does get Wave Crash. Oh no, it does get Wave Crash. Huh.
So Floatzel ends up doing more, I think.
That's actually kind of insane. That's worthy of a video, frankly. Okay. Yeah, Floatzel's weird moment where it was good. I'm going to keep that in mind for a YouTube short. Pachirisu. Actually, probably top of niche. And it's not because of 2014. We're not talking about 2014. I don't care if it won the World Championships. We're talking about today. What does Pachirisu do today? It is a Miraidon counter, which is really funny to think about. Yeah, people would run Terra Fairy Pachirisu, and it would just effectively click follow me into the Miraidon matchup. And if the Miraidon was not Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam, they just immediately lose to Pachirisu. They just get walled out by it. And it still has all of its cool tools. It's still got Super Fang. Not Taunt. What does it have? Follow me, Protect.
So is this the only... This was sort of its niche before, too. Isn't it the only Electric Immune guy that gets Redirection?
Yeah, I believe so. Unless Electabuzz gets it. No. Yeah, I think it's the only... Let me see. Follow me. Technically, Electivire. Actually...
Electivire.
Wait. No. Does Motor Drive make you immune, or do you just get...
Yeah, it's immunity. It's immunity.
Oh, yeah. Technically, Electivire could have done this, too. Well, actually, why didn't people do with Electivire?
Is Super Fang better than
Super Fang? Yeah, Super Fang is genuinely better.
Super Fang's that is pretty good.
Yeah, that is genuinely why.
Also, Helping Hand. Helping Hand is also quite good.
This guy gets Helping Hand too. Hold on, give me a minute here. Let me cook. So, Super Fang, Super Cell Slam. that's a set. There we go. Electivire, ship it.
Well, Electivire must get something else useful.
No, it doesn't. We tried. We're gonna have to talk about him later.
Outclassed by Pachirisu is insane.
Yeah, it really is kind of interesting, huh? Cherrim hasn't been seen in both forms. We're just going to rank this one. Doesn't matter. Hasn't been seen in a long time, but I genuinely think that if Cherrim existed in Gen 9 VGC, did it exist? I want to check. I want to make sure I don't sound like an idiot. Let me see.
It stinks, and you're wrong. And no one uses it.
Okay, no, it doesn't exist. Okay. So Cherrim, I want to rank it off of a hypothetical. And the reason I want to rank it off a hypothetical is because Koraidon is a Pokemon this gen, and Cherrim was not. And I think Cherrim was purposely not included because if you were able to run a Sun team where Cherrim was your grass type, and you had a Flutter Mane, and you had a Chi-Yu, and you had all these Pokemon on top of the Koraidon, it'd be kind of broken, because Flower Gift, if Sunny Day is active, it and its allies attack and special defense are 1.5. If you give Koraidon a further attack boost just by having another Pokemon on the field, and it's not Chien-Pao, this is a better Chien-Pao, technically. I'm pretty sure, like, this does it slightly more than Chien-Pao's boost, or drop, rather. Koraidon would be broken. So I want to say that, like, Cherrim, it did see usage next to, like, Groudon at some point, like, in the past. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw it in niche. Where did I put
It's worthy of niche. That's a genuine ability.
Yeah, that's a real ability. It saw some niche like Groudon usage in like older gens, just not like in current. Was it in Gen 8? Actually, I don't know if Cherrim was in Gen 8.
Nobody knows.
Because no one ever used it. Let me see. Gen 8. Ubers. It was. Okay. It was. Yes. I'm sure some people used it. I think I remember using it at some point, just as like a gag Pokemon. But it is, I think with Koraidon, it could have been really interesting. The Gastrodons, still viable.
They're good.
Our first still viable, and we're gonna put both of them up there. They both count. I mean, it's just kind of, it's Gastrodon. It has Storm Drain. It redirects the attack. You have a Pokemon that's weak to water, throw the Gastrodon next to it. You have a bad rain matchup, put a Gastrodon in there. You don't like our Chaldon, Gastrodon eats that guy for breakfast. What does he do in singles, though?
Sort of the same thing. Water immunity is good. Even though redirection is not a factor. It's just, it has a good typing as well, and recovery, and it's good, and it always props up. It's good in Gen 5, because rain is everywhere.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Gastrodon in doubles, it's like a debate every gen. Every gen, Gastrodon's included. There's like a 50-50 split on if Gastrodon's good or not. That kind of ended, I think, in Gen 9. I think we just kind of accepted that, like, We have so many broken water types that Gastrodon will never be a bad Pokemon anymore. But like, I remember Gastrodon's ability carried it so hard back in Gen 7 that people were running it on teams, even though Gastrodon literally didn't have access to Earth Power. You had to use Mud Shot. That was its move to hit Tapu Koko. So people would actually, instead of clicking Mud Shot back then, because you didn't have access to any good ground moves, you would run Fissure. Wait, let me check. Gen 7. I'm not misremembering, right? Gastrodon had Fissure, right? Yes. You'd run Fissure with Ground EMZ, and that was how you dealt with Tapu Koko. It was just a one-shot. It's very interesting. Yeah, but that was the only thing it had to actually deal with that, so. Gastrodon, the only still viable Pokemon. It's still seeing results today. Lopunny.
Inspirational.
Lopunny.
Ambipom?
Did we? Sometimes I forget these Pokemon exist. I mean...
It's Fake Out. That's powerful.
Fake Out off 100 attack and 115 speed. It is...
But it's Technician boosted.
Yeah, no, that Fake Out's doing numbers. Normal gem? No. Yeah, we're going to... Where'd I put that guy? I already lost him. He's so unnotable. I think he's probably... there. There's just no need for Ambipom in like any format ever. I guess like it gets double slap. What's like the move it use? Tail slap. It's tail slap.
Yeah, tail slap with Technician is
all right.
Normal such a bad offensive.
But
type.
Hear me out.
Yeah, the mouse.
The mouse exists. You know, you can hit something with two hands, or you could hit him with 6 to 8, depending on the form. So yeah, Ambipom just doesn't do anything. Lopunny though, I keep losing these Pokemon. Oh, here it is. Lopunny. It is just kind of like Ambipom. I'm gonna put it probably lower than Vespiquen. It's like the Trick Assault Vest Klutz set that it would use in like singles.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it doesn't do that in doubles because it's like not worth it. So it just has nothing.
I think so. It's a very slow concept for not too much gain.
Yeah, it literally
Even
is
singles.
just...
It's nothing more than a meme, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's just like meant to shut down like Chansey, I guess. Like Chansey can't recover. Even that doesn't do a great job because it's all seismic toss. Yeah, in doubles, it's just like, thanks for the Assault Vest. There's not really any pure support Pokemon that exist except for a few Whimsicott that don't run attacks. So it's like the only mono it would ever shut down.
You missed Drifblim also.
Drifblim. Oh yeah.
Is Drifblim genuine? Because it's got Tailwind and...
Yeah, actually Drifblim was a good Gen 7 Pokemon, but in Gen 9, I haven't seen a lot of Drifblim if it's even in the game. Like it's one of those Pokemon that like probably just isn't... It's probably in the game, but I just haven't seen it, I'm gonna get a dedicated Gen 9 box here just so I can like check modern stuff.
Check if they still exist.
Okay, yeah, it is in the game.
Oh,
it's yeah. It doesn't see a ton of usage currently, and that's just because I'm gonna chalk it up to no Tapu Lele. Drifblim's like best partner in the past was Tapu Lele, because it would Psychic Seed Tailwind for Tapu Lele. Right now, the only Pokemon it can effectively do with the Seed boost with is Rillaboom, because Indeedee Female is slow and doesn't get Expanding Force, and even though Indeedee Male does get Expanding Force, like, in the formats where that was a thing that you could do, you would usually just put, like, Psychic Seed Sneasler next to Indeedee, and you get a lot more value out of it. So, yeah, so Drifblim is... I don't want to say it's bad, because I know it had, like, at least one result at some point. I want to put it at, like, the very, very bottom of niche. It's probably, like, almost not viable, but we have so many, like, not viable Pokemon. I feel bad just filling up that whole tier.
You could give Drifblim some respect. It's immune to Fake Out and a Tailwind and...
Will-O-Wisp. Strength Sap, I think, even. Yeah, it gets Strength Sap. It is a decent Pokemon. It's just like its tools...
real utility.
Its tools just aren't like super needed in like current VGC. There's just like other things that do it. I think it also ran like acrobatics.
For a future meta game.
Unironically, it is one of those Pokemon that will be good again, probably in some Champions format. Like I said, if like Champions' first format is low power, and we have like a decent seed Pokemon next to, I don't know, if like we have like Lele in there and Coco and like Drifblim, like that's going to be a good Pokemon. That's like my take on it. Honchkrow. I brought Honchkrow to the North American International Championships.
Well, then he's still viable.
I'm going to show you the team, and I need you to not laugh. This is the Do Not Laugh at the Honchkrow Team Challenge.
I would never laugh at the respectable Pokemon.
Many have failed. I think this is it. Yeah, this is the team I brought to the North American.
There's nothing funny about that. That's just
there's nothing funny about that 60 HP, 252 defense electric seed Honchkrow.
That's incredible.
So, if you're wondering why I brought Honchkrow to the North American International Championships, it's because I did not try to qualify that year, nor am I trying to qualify this year. I'm going as a creator because I don't feel like playing Scarlet and Violet anymore. I want champions. Maybe if champions drops early enough, I might try at the end of the season to go for my invite this year. But at that point, it's like you have to win a regional, and I'm not doing that. Honchkrow, I ran it with the electric seed because it was just funny. It made it so you could, if you could live a Glacial Lance with the electric seed boost because of the spread damage.
Tailwind off, and
then you get Tailwind. Yes, you also take Collision Course and Flare Blitz from core add-ons, so you could just Brave Bird them. So it literally was just survive a turn Tailwind. And you have Foul Play because you can Foul Play Calyrex, and that was it. Notice how like the rest of this team looks actually pretty solid, and then there's just a Honchkrow. If this is a Whimsicott, I think I would have day 2'd. I did pretty bad at that event, but I did get a couple of wins, and Honchkrow did show up to games. That being said, it is one of the most not viable Pokemon on this list, probably even below. Probably here. Yeah,
it's surely better than like Roserade because it can Tailwind. What does Roserade do?
Roserade, nothing. It aura farms, and not even. It's on like a cool jacket that they had at the World Championships this year. That's like it.
There you go.
Yeah, Miss Magus. Fluttermane version 1.0. It was never actually used. I think the only time anyone ever considered running it was Regulation H, and it was just because it had Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam, so it was able to be a budget Fluttermane. And that's basically it. I think it gets that. I want to double check, actually. I'm not even certain that that's true. Hold on. Miss Magus. Dazzling Gleam. Yes, it is that. It also had a decent speed tier. It gets Icy Wind. It really was just mini Fluttermane. That was all it was, and it was not good. So, but it was better than like a lot of the Pokemon on this list. I would probably hazard to put it like above Infernape. Skuntank. I can't think of it. You want to talk about singles? I can't think of anything this thing does.
Skuntank's not very good, but Stunky is good in Little Cup.
Stunky. Tell us about Stunky. We'll put Skuntank wherever, but tell me about Stunky.
Stunky has great Poison Dark typing, good bulk for Little Cup, and it has Pursuit in some generations, which traps ghosts.
Yes, not this one.
Just a great move pull for Little Cup.
Yes. Does it get Gunk Shot?
Oh, it also, in Gen 9, I believe they gave it Knockoff.
Yes.
Smart.
Actually, not even a bad speed tier for Little Cup 74. It's kind of impressive.
It's a good Little Cup Pokemon.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, isn't Skuntank like basically the same speed tier? Does it not get any faster? 84. Okay.
Yeah, for fully evolved people, Skuntank is average, but
yeah, Stunky's also
among the children, Stunky is formidable.
Stunky. All right. Shout out Stunky. We'll put him there.
Shout outs to Stunky.
Yeah, we'll put him in Silva. I'm gonna tweet out this image and be like, ignore Stunky. We didn't have enough Pokemon and still find him. All right.
It's true if you squint your eyes.
Yeah. I almost called this thing Purloin. I couldn't even remember the name. It's I almost called it Delcatty. Hold on. Glameow. No.
Parugly.
Somewhere out there, there's a Gen 4 fan that's ready to kill me. Purugly. Wow, I'm sorry.
It's not in the game, huh?
It's not in the game, but I don't know what game I'd want this thing in.
It's faster than Latios, which makes perfect sense, by the way, because cats have lightning fast reflexes.
Yes. As made famous by Catman from the Fairly Odd Parents. I I already forgot its name again. I genuinely, what was that thing called?
It's
Perugly. Perugly. I was like, wait a minute. What? It gets thick fat.
Who is this?
It
doesn't get any. Oh, it gets Defiant. That's smart.
That's pretty cool. It gets Fake Out, I'm sure. Yes. Double Edge? Nope. I'm sorry.
That would be too powerful.
I genuinely laughed at that. That wasn't even like that wasn't even a bit. I just like, what do you mean it doesn't get double? It's getting to attack and it's a normal type. What is this? Hold on. Normal. Body Slam, Frustration. That's not even in the game anymore. Super Fang. Oh, yeah. Pachirisu. You know what? Just get up there.
Yeah, it does a little.
Okay.
It does a little.
Yeah. We'll put him Infernape tier. That's funny. We didn't even make fun of Infernape this bad, but just because this is a faster Fake Out user, I feel bad putting it lower than Infernape. Yeah, well, that's a faster Fake Out user too. We'll put it like there. Actually, it's got Defiant. There we go. I'm literally splitting hairs here. We're really...
It's very scientifically ordered.
We're really getting into the weeds about which... we're power scaling Barrel and Wormadam.
It's... Fight of the edges. Battle of the edges.
Oh my god, wait a minute. There is a Pokemon here we have to talk about that is like an... Is it an Eviolite? It's not. Hold on. So...
Shellos?
We skipped Chingling. Chingling's bad. This thing's bad. Bronzong, that...
Isn't Bronzong good for Trick Room?
It's not... I wouldn't argue still viable. I'd argue it's probably like... Probably better than Pachirisu. In like niche. It is a... Body press user?
Trick Room?
Yeah, it's a body press user. It's got Trick Room. It's got Levitate. It gets Gravity. That's like a thing that people ran next to Groudon. It is one of like the most niche Pokemon you could run. The issue is that like most of what Bronzong can do, Cresselia just does better. It's basically just Cresselia with like a not even a better Fluttermane matchup because you're both still, you know, weak to Ghost, but it's got like, you know, that Gyro Ball, I guess. Yeah, it's just
more. It's a bit more aggressive, I suppose.
It's
Does
like
it have a self-sacrificial move with momentum, like a memento or something?
I don't think so.
I don't.
Yeah, but people still do use it. It was good in certain formats. Like if Xerneas exists, Bronzong's better than Cresselia. That's kind of like the standard. Bronzong also walls out Ursaluna. That's like its one niche in this gen over Cresselia is that it resists all of Ursaluna moves. Okay. We actually need to talk about this thing, which is really funny. Yes.
What?
I am going to put it at the very bottom of niche. And I'm putting it here as a fun fact. And not because we've seen it recently, but because I think that they might undo the nerf to Chansey at some point, which means it'll come back. But in Gen 7 VGC, Mime Jr. has results. And the reason for it was Chansey teams would use Carbink with a Mental Herb and Sturdy to set up Trick Room. And then Eviolite Chansey would get Guard Split on by that same Carbink. And then that Chansey would click Toxic, Soft Boiled, and Seismic Toss, and what's that last move? Defense Curl. And it would just be a Pokemon that was... Oh, and sorry, Minimize. Minimize is like the move that you would always run. It made it so Chansey was extremely difficult to hit and extremely difficult to KO. Because the Eviolite applies after the Guard Split. So it just had absurd bulk, right? Mime Jr. was ran over Mr. Mime as a contingency plan for Perish Song. You would have 3 Pokemon on this team, and they all had Skill Swap. It was Skill Swap Reuniclus with Magic Guard if your opponent had Toxic on their team, because you could just prevent all Toxic damage. You had Skill Swap, I forget one of the Pokemon, frankly, but it's one of them. I forget. And then you had Skill Swap Mr. Mime or Mime Jr. And you'd run Mime Jr. because you want to make sure that it goes first if Trick Room is active. Because there were Pokemon that could underspeed Mr. Mime and Trick Room, meaning that they could knock it out and then Perish Song to win. But there weren't as many Pokemon that undersped Mime Jr. So they couldn't knock it out before you skill swap to give it soundproof. So it was ran for skill swap soundproof.
That's unbelievable.
That is extremely unbelievable. But it happened. Yeah, it had a few results.
The crowd goes insane.
The crowd goes crazy for Mime Jr. absolutely dominating Honchkrow and everything in the tier below it because it actually does something. And I said this is like a Gen 7 fun fact, but like who even cares about the order of this tier list? I want to throw it up there just for the fun fact of it.
That team sounds diabolical.
It is
incredibly frustrating.
Look up Chansey gameplay. It is the worst. It's just as frustrating in singles as it is. Actually, it's more frustrating in doubles.
Niche is insane.
Yeah, and it was as Chansey's bodyguard. He's basically like evil. Chatot. There's no reason to talk about it. It is Chatot. Chatter isn't even like good in the game. You know, it has Boom Burst, I guess. But Spiritomb. Fun fact, for the longest time, Spiritomb didn't have Trick Room. It got it in Gen 9. Which is kind of crazy to think about.
Is it used for this?
Not really, because Gen 9 had like a million incredible Trick Room users. You had Ndidi, you had Cresselia, you had Armarouge, Hatterene. Everything got Trick Room. Right, even Fluttermane.
At a different time, the Dark Ghost typing would have been good, but not with Fluttermane and all running around.
No. Fluttermane exists.
Wide open.
Yeah, Dark Ghost, terrible. That being said, it was sometimes used to beat Calyrex Ice in doubles, so I would say, yeah, you underspeed Calyrex Ice, you get a Will-O-Wisp. It was like a restricted Pokemon, but it wasn't like good. Garchomp. Oh my god, finally.
It's a good Pokemon.
we did it. We did it. We got this far into the video. We can talk about Garchomp. You know, talk about singles first. I got to think about Garchomp for doubles.
Well, Garchomp's one of the most successful singles Pokemon of all time. Incredible stats. Just above base 100 means it outruns a lot of important things. Great general bulk. Great move pool. Stealth Rock. Rough Skin comes up. Because you chip things that are rapid spinning away the Stealth Rock. And in general, like U-turn users and such.
Mm-hmm.
You can run mixed with Draco Meteor, Fire Blast. I think Aqua Tail to hit Landorus.
That was a thing.
The world is your oyster.
That was a thing. In VGC, Garchomp had a couple of sets. Usually it would run Swords Dance, Scale Shot with Earthquake and Protect. And the reason you would do this is because they added the loaded dice in Gen 9. So you're able to like put Garchomp next to like a redirection mon, like a Moongus or like Clefairy. And you would Swords Dance up, you would Scale Shot whatever was like threatening you, and then Garchomp outspeeds everything. It outspeeds Scarf Gold, it outspeeds Fluttermane, and it'd be able to Earthquake. That being said, Garchomp mostly succeeded in non-Fluttermane formats because it in Reg H, it was able to take on like Pokemon like Garchomp, which became good. Able to take on, it was able to take on Tyranitar, Golden Go. It just has like a phenomenal offensive typing. And people would even run like Scarf Chomp or even like Choice Band Garchomp. At one point, I did pretty good at Baltimore regionals, or it might have been Louisville regionals, with Choice Band Garchomp next to Terraflying Spect Weezing. Like that was a thing that I ran. Yeah, Garchomp also will sometimes just run the Clear Amulet rather than the loaded dice because it makes it so Swords Dance sets are a little bit more effective. You don't have to worry about like Intimidate or anything. So yeah, Garchomp, incredible Pokemon. Oh, and another thing to note, Sandville is a set run in doubles with the Bright Powder because you can put it next to Tyranitar. Tyranitar tends to run Terra Flying and you're able to go for Swords Dance and Earthquake while Garchomp effectively just avoids everything. It just doesn't even care. Like it has super evasion. So very frustrating Pokemon to play against. Do you want to know something crazy?
Does Prankster Riolu do stuff?
Yeah.
It does in singles as well.
Yeah, Prankster Riolu, technically Gen 9 it doesn't do anything, but I want to still give it its roses here. In Gen 8, Prankster Riolu was able to use Copycat while the Dynamax Pokemon clicked Max Guard off of Trick Room, because Trick Room turned into Max Guard. And then because you Copycat, Trick Room would go up immediately, making it basically an unstoppable Copycat. There wasn't a lot of ways to prevent Trick Room from going up.
Oh, that's crazy.
And after that point, Riolu got Prankster Coaching. So even though the other Pokemon might be faster, you Prankster Coach the Dynamax Mon, and it just gets a boost over and over and over again. So Riolu was actually like one of Calyrex Ice's more notable partners in Gen 8 VGC, because you would get the Trick Room off and then coach it. All right. We're almost through. Why are there multiple copies of Pokemon?
That's a great point.
Yeah, you know, we're nearly through, but I look down here. I'm like, why do we have Croagunk 2? All right. Unless there's no Croagunk up here. Is there a Croagunk up here?
Yeah, he's there. He's there.
Where is he?
He's near Carnivine. And
oh, yeah. Actually, he's coming up.
There he is.
Lucario. This is going to make some people kind of mad. I don't think Lucario is viable in modern VGC. I can't
imagine him being any... Like, the Paradox Pokemon are just sort of the same.
Yeah. The only thing Lucario's got going for... Does it still have Follow Me in VGC this gen? Let me check.
It's got Follow Me. That's good.
I think it kept Follow Me. Let me see. Lucario... Follow Me. No, it doesn't. Yeah,
not even that.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Can't you do beat up this guy with Whimsicott and then it has Justified?
Yes. The only issue is that Lucario has 90 speed and 110 attack. And in every game that you could do that with Lucario, you could also do that with Cobalion, who has 108 speed.
He's faster.
Yeah, and better bulk. And its attack, even though it's like 20 points lower, it doesn't matter when you're at plus, whatever. So, Lucario, yeah, no, it's tough. It's definitely going in. Actually, I would even argue it's probably like right here. It doesn't have anything really going for it.
In a limited dex where there's no Cobalion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's like that's like a big if,
What if the guy that's better was not in the game?
Yeah, what if LeBron James retired? That's crazy calling Cobalion LeBron James. He's not even really. He's like. I don't know. He's kind of a bench warmer that gets a couple of points once in a while. Hippowdon?
The Hippo. I hate the Hippo.
It's niche. It's not the greatest Pokemon. Basically, as long as Tyranitar exists, Hippowdon's going to struggle. I'm going to put him here. But as long as Tyranitar exists, Hippowdon's going to struggle. It's just Hippowdon's just... It's Tyranitar with Yawn. That's the best way to put it. It also got Sandtomb. Like, it's kind of interesting. Gets Fissure. Actually, I'm pretty sure the most successful Hippowdons ran Fissure this gen, and it was really just like this set. It was interesting. Yeah, it was just interesting. It was whatever. It wasn't like great, and it was only like a Reg H Pokemon where they banned Fluttermane and stuff. Drapion, it's just that's a crit set in singles, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose you could. It's not very good though.
No.
It's got Sniper with... I think that there was a set with Acupressure and Gen for like a gimmick.
Yeah. Because you can like target yourself or your partner.
Accrue all the boosts.
Yeah, Drapion.
Can you? I didn't know that. You can target a partner with Acupressure?
I believe so. Hold on, Acupressure. Yeah, user or ally.
Or an ally. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can target your partners with it. But it's basically just Moody. It's Moody the move. Really wasn't anything super important. I would argue that like there's not really a reason to discuss it super in depth.
It's no Stunky. No.
It's no Stunky. Yeah, as far as dark poison types, it's no Muck either. Probably like there.
It's a cut above Chatot.
Yes. Toxicroak. I would argue
in the one VGC tournament I ever played, I brought a Toxicroak.
Yeah, it was fine in previous gens, and like it can still do what it does in previous gens. This gen, it's just not like super important anymore. But I wouldn't argue
it's
like
basically if there's Kyogre in the format, it's good.
If there's Kyogre, it's a low kick bot that like walls out Kyogre, and that's really all it does. It also technically is like a one-man Kyogre Xerneas core destroyer. We used to call that Reindeer, by the way. So if you're facing Reindeer, like Toxicroak's like a one Pokemon patch into at least the restricteds. Like it would struggle to do anything against anything else, especially since Tornadus is on that team. So I think that Toxicroak isn't that bad. And there's also like the Toxicroak guy that would run into me in a bunch of tournaments and be like still running Toxicroak Marcos and be like sick. Yeah. Carnivine makes me sad. That thing's just, it's awful, but I wish it was good. I'm going to put it probably above Chatot. It's got nothing. Hey, Jim, you want to hear something fun?
It's got genuinely nothing.
Want to hear something fun?
It's a... What'd I say?
Okay. So Carnivine, right? It's like a... What would you call it? Like it's kind of like a snap trap-ish Pokemon?
Yeah.
All right. So like Galarian Stunfisk, Galarian Stunfisk, right? It's got this move. It's got this move called Snap Trap.
Snap Trap.
Why is it grass type? This is a steel ground type. It's got 35 base power physical grass move that traps things in. That sounds familiar. If only there was a video game that came out after Gen 8. Oh yeah, BDSP came out after Gen 8. Wait, so surely that no, they didn't. They didn't give it the move. Why didn't they give it the move? Like I don't get it. Anyways, that's all I want to say about it. This one sucks. It doesn't. Why does it have 90 special attack?
My immersion is down the toilet after that.
Yeah. I need like Unreal. I need two things to be immersed in Pokemon. I need like Unreal Engine graphics, Mario gameplay, and I need Snap Trap on my Carnivine. And why is it floating? You know, there's no Pokedex reason why Carnivine floats. Did you know that?
It's just self-evident.
I checked the Pokedex.
Some truths are self-evident.
Yes, I know. Like, I can see it floating, but like they don't explain why.
It's
like,
for survival. For something.
Yeah, but like wheezing, I get it. You know, it's like expelling gas. Flygon, it's flying. Let's get all these. Hold on, we're on like going. It's a little bit of a tangent here. Latios, it's flying. Hydreigon, it's flying. Rotom, like magnetism or something. And it's a ghost, so it flies. Azelf, it's like psychic, it flies. Bronzong, psychic, it flies. Psychic, electricity, psychic, electricity. And then...
It's in tune with nature or something. It's a sort of a snap trap. Venus fly trap. And
it is. And why is he hitting the
I guess does it have, are those wings?
No, really. It's not. It kind of like, if you look at its animation, it kind of just like turns a little bit. And it's hitting this like be not afraid pose. Is Carnivine an angel? Like
that's the only explanation for it.
Carnivine's an angel.
Is that it's an angel.
Yeah.
That's insane.
All right. There's not a lot of Pokemon. I just need to rant about that. That always makes me mad. Abomasnow, it's still viable. It's like probably here. It's good on snow teams ever since the snow buff. It's got Sash, it's got Blizzard. Even before
Is it
like
better than Ninetales?
I would argue they're different. Like they're just different enough that you don't need to compare them.
Okay.
Like they do similar things with like Aurora Veil and stuff because they both have that move now and they have Snow Warning. But the difference between Abomasnow is that Abomasnow actually has like an offensive stat. Like this 10 points above Ninetales is like nothing to scoff at. It really does matter quite a bit. And like Leaf Storm does hit fairly hard. It was a fine Pokemon when it was used. It's just not used a ton anymore. But I would argue, probably niche. Probably niche. I don't think it's better than Bronzong. But like there was a time where there was no Ninetales and this was still like super viable. I would argue like, yeah, no, I think it's still better than Bronzong. Because like if Ninetales isn't in the game, which isn't often actually, like, you know, Alolan Ninetales is usually like a DLC Pokemon. Abomasnow is just like super employed. Weavile, it is super.
Doesn't seem like a good doubles Pokemon, but
it's got Fake Out. It's like super niche. It's just like Chenpao with Fake Out, but like worse.
Yeah,
it's worse Chenpao with Fake Out.
Better.
Yeah, that's like it's. I think that like, actually, no, even Sneasel actually saw more usage than Weavile because Sneasel can't get flinched as inner focus.
That's absurd.
Probably here. It just it's not as bad as everything down here. Like that speedster is still fine, so I don't feel right putting it lower. All right. Where are we at? Magnezone. I have never seen this Pokemon in VGC. Maybe if it got Levitate, but it's got stats. Its stats are just high enough that I feel bad putting it.
It's a very singles Pokemon.
Yeah.
Magnet Pull doesn't really achieve anything in doubles, but in singles it's good.
Yeah, and even then in like doubles you'd run Sturdy if anything. What does it do in singles at least?
Well, when Ferrothorn existed, it was the best Ferrothorn trapper.
Oh yeah, Hidden Power Fire, right?
And in Gen 4, Skarmory. Good at trapping that.
Thunderbolt Volt Switch stuff.
I think in In Gen 8 OU, it could trap like Melmetal, maybe? With a certain set? I don't know.
Because Melmetal's got bad
No, it was
special
mostly
defense,
against
right?
Ferrothorn.
Yeah.
Mostly Ferrothorn. It can do stuff.
It's got Super Soul Slam. I forgot it was even in this game.
The loss of hidden power in Gen 8 was a big problem, though.
Yeah, it's got Terror Blast now.
with the
You know,
zone.
maybe that's the thing. All right.
You missed Luminion, but I don't know if that.
Okay,
matters very much.
it doesn't. it's Gastrodon, but worse.
Great Pokemon card, though.
Oh yeah.
Find a supporter card from your deck. Very useful.
What I tell you guys, he does play more TCG than VGC. Licky. He makes me deeply uncomfortable.
Yet another average normal type attack.
It really
achieves nothing.
It's got coverage.
Few of those.
It's probably worse than Skuntank. And we talked about Rhyperior. It had a niche in Gen 8. It was like a decent Dynamax user. Currently, Rhydon is better than Rhyperior in Gen 9 just because it's a better Miraidon check with Eviolite. That being said, technically it can do the same thing, just a little worse. So it probably sits right here. And there's really not much else to it.
A niche. Unbelievable.
A niche. Electivire, try as you might, it is not good. It is going right next to Luxray, and technically speaking, this guy does the same. Like, these guys are outclassed by their previous evolutions. Like, there's no reason to run these guys over Magmar and Electabuzz just because they all do what they do better. Also, they have higher speed. Did you know these guys drop speed?
I did know that, yeah.
Yeah.
Tragic.
That speed matters. Electabuzz is base 101. It outspeeds Charizard and Chi-Yu.
Does Tangrowth achieve anything in doubles? You got Rage Powder?
It does have a bunch of tools that you would think are good in doubles, but it doesn't do anything just because of the competition.
It is
Tangrowth,
competing with Amoonguss.
it is. It has like a ton of cool tools. It has Sleep Powder, but Amoonguss has Spore. It has Rage Powder, but it has bad special defense. It does have incredible physical defense. If I had to go up against an Urshifu, 100% every day I'm choosing Tangrowth over Amoonguss. Actually, no, that's a lie. Amoonguss resists fighting moves. So yeah, it's Amoonguss with knockoff. Yeah,
That's
I
good.
love Tangrowth though. I think it's probably like top 3 Gen 4 Pokemon for me.
It's a great design, and it's got a good singles career. Regen and all those utility moves come up. Mono grass typing was surprisingly good.
It's a shame. It's a shame he's not good. Togekiss. Probably right up there with Garchomp. Follow Me, Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam, Ice Beam. Serene Grace, one of the greatest Dynamax users in early Gen 8 VGC. Not in Gen 9 currently, and I think if it was in Gen 9, it would actually be stupid good. So, just sits there.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Isn't it just like
Happy for
Scarf sets
Togekiss.
and singles?
It's a bit of a meme in singles because it's Serene Grace Air Slash Flinch and
Yeah.
Thunder Wave.
You know, it's like the
Power
evil
Flinch
thing
strategy.
about Togekiss and doubles.
Well, can you also do that?
No, it's that its meme set is
super luck.
its meme set is its best set. You would run Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, Follow Me, Tailwind sometimes, but usually just Protect. But actually like Crit Kiss in VGC, at least in Gen 8, was stupid broken because you were just able to crit Max Airstream and crit like Max Starfall and stuff. It was a stupidly strong Pokemon.
That's fun. That's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
It sounds frustrating to face though.
Yeah, imagine having to deal with a Pokemon that crits every turn.
That's no good.
Yeah, imagine. This thing's actually good. Wolfie was one of the people to run it. I would say it's niche, probably better than Bronzong. Effectively, what this thing did, it's for other people complaining about me saying this thing because you're doing your dishes and you can't look at your screen. We're talking about
It's Yanmega.
Yanmega,
the bug.
Yanmega. If you ever hear me say this thing, it's because I'm getting old. I'm 26 years old and I'm running out of room in my brain for Pokemon.
This creature.
Yeah, Yanmega, it would speed boost and get Tailwind, and that was all it would do. It just sped boost, Tailwind. That was it. Would start to outspeed a lot of Pokemon. Also, like Compound Eyes, not Compound Eyes, Tinted Lens, Air Slash, and Bug Buzz was super duper strong. Leafeon, it's just not viable. It's a Chlorophyllmon with none of the good things that Chlorophyllmon typically get, so it's probably throwing right here. And Glaceon, I think it's on the lower end of niche.
What's the Snow Cloak?
It's Blizzard? Snow Cloak Blizzard, which it's outclassed by Articuno, which is absurd to think about. Articuno is a real Pokemon in current VGC. Glaceon is not, just because it's not fast enough. I guess
flying type would come in handy, and the natural bulk.
It really is just the speed. It's just the speed. It's the fastest.
Oh, the speed. Yeah, Glaceon's damn slow. I always forget that.
Yeah, it's the fastest. Not the fastest, because I think that Frostlass technically has it too. But like as far as Snowcloak Pokemon, it has just the right balance of speed, bulk, and power. Where like you can click Terra Ice Specs Blizzard in snow, and it is a frustrating mon to deal with. Technically, Glaceon can do the same thing, just slower. While it does hit a lot harder, it's just slow enough where like you're not as threatening to a lot of Pokemon. So it's not really worth running. Also, I don't believe Glaceon gets Sheer Cold or Freeze Dry, which is like why people run Articuno. It's a 4 Ice move Pokemon, which is really funny. All right. Gliscor. Not good. I would argue probably the top of not viable.
Really?
Yeah, it's only niches it beats Sneasler 100% of the time, and that's literally it. And when that's the only Pokemon you beat, it's not really in high demand.
Is Poison Heal valued in doubles at all?
Kind of.
It seems probably slow, kind of slow.
Yeah, it's just that like the slow play in doubles makes it difficult for Gliscor to really get anything going. Typically, I think the only set that actually saw success was a Hypercutter Life Orb set with like
in
dual
singles. This is one of the goats. Poison Heal is one of the strongest abilities in the game.
Yeah. If you want to talk about singles, it's a little bit more worth talking about here. Yeah, Toxic Orb. What is it like? Knockoff.
It gets like every utility move. Its typing is excellent, and Poison Heal is just ridiculous because it's basically status immunity and double chip heal.
Yeah.
So you don't even. It's got high horsepower, of course.
It's also a fighting resist. All right.
It's a horse.
It's a horse. It's one of our many horses. The Year of the Horse is coming up. Lunar New Year.
Oh, yes.
Mag Cargo content to come.
I love this Pokemon.
Yeah, this Pokemon's actually fairly decent in certain formats in Gen 9.
It's Mamoswine for the listeners. Mamoswine.
Yes, this Pokemon. They always get so mad. They're like, you keep saying this Pokemon.
I love this mystery Pokemon.
They're like, I have to switch tabs from Minecraft to find out what you're talking about. But yeah, Mamoswine, it's got 130 base attack. It can't be intimidated because of Oblivious. That's a new buff in Gen 8. It matters a lot in VGC. It outspeeds. Yeah, it outspeeds a lot of Pokemon that are relevant. Typically they're like Focus Sash or Choice Scarf, but Focus Sash is a lot more useful because with like Terra Ghost you can avoid fake outs, and it just lets you be able to threaten one shots with high horsepower. Icicle Crash. It is just a one-shotting Pokemon. Some people even choice band it, but yeah, Mamoswine's pretty cool. It is decent. Gallade. This one, oh sorry, Porygon. Porygon Z in VGC. It was good in Gen 8. In Gen 9, it's not really seeing a lot of usage. It's got a lot of things going for it. It's just strong enough that I feel bad not putting it in niche. It's fast enough. It hits. Dude, it might actually be not viable. I think. Yeah, the only format it was good.
A new tier called like could do stuff. Potentially or something like that.
Yeah, the only issue is everything could do stuff potentially. I ran freaking Electric Seed. It did stuff potentially. Yeah, so I'm strict with these 3 tiers because it just makes it more blunt and gets me more engagement.
I see.
It's also just more honest. Yeah, it's probably not viable.
You're right.
Porygon 2 just outclasses it, and you just see just like it hits hard, it has adaptability, but the speed's just not there. Gallade though. This is a Pokemon I'm a day 1 hater of, but even I can't deny it. Gallade is one of the best Gen 4 Pokemon currently in VGC. And it's just because...
I'll be honest, I was not aware of that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty phenomenal. Gallade runs a clear amulet, and it is on Psyspam, which is why I personally hate it, because I hate playing against Psyspam. You run it next to Indeedee as a Trick Room setter, and what Gallade brings to the table is it is able to run Sharpness. It has access to Psycho Cut, it has access to Sacred Sword, Trick Room, and Wide Guard. Which means that Gallade typically doesn't run a lot of speed investment, usually almost no speed, in fact.
Great special defense, which I didn't think about really, but that's...
Yeah, so Gallade is basically just meant to be almost like a bouncer for Side Spam teams. Are you aware of like how Side Spam works in VGC?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like in DD next to like Hatterene or Armarouge, and you click like Expanding Force and stuff. So obviously
usually Trick Room.
Yeah, and Trick Room. Obviously, like there's Pokemon that throw a huge wrench in that, mostly Incineroar. Incineroar, one of the most common Pokemon in VGC, period, just hard walls that entire strategy. If they have Snarl, it's over. Like Incineroar just beats you because you can't get hit by Expanding Force. Gallade takes
Gallade
that...
is the anti-Incineroar.
Yeah, Gallade is the anti-Incineroar. You just take that Dark typing and shove it down its throat with Sacred Sword and one-shot it, because there is no Incineroar that can eat a Sacred Sword with Sharpness. And like on top of that, because Psychic Terrain is up, like Psycho Cut gets like absurd damage. So that's really all it is. Also, it just makes it so you can like, if you're facing off against a Specs Golden Go, which threatens a one-shot, you can't follow me away, you know, a spread, make it rain. So you can just Wide Guard on it instead. It is very solid. Gallade is super duper good. All right. Probopass. That is, it is no Bastiodon. I believe the main difference is Probopass doesn't get Wide Guard, maybe? Or maybe it's just... All right, hold on. Protect.
The main difference is it doesn't get...
Wait, it does get it. Wait, why aren't we using this one? Wide
Does
Guard...
it get defense body press? Wait a damn second.
Foul play? Okay, it's foul play. Sorry, that's
foul play.
That's the reason you run it. Okay, so...
But its bulk is excellent.
Is it? Hold on, let me take a look at this. Bastiodon next to 168, 138, 60.
Oh, no,
okay, that's
Bastiodon's
why.
better.
That's why. It's Bastiodon's just better. Like just straight up. They almost got like the exact same thing going on, like bar for bar. Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, Bastiodon just has better bulk. Well, kind of.
You know what's funny about Probopass in singles?
What?
Is that it's a niche counter to King Gambit, because you have Magnet Pull.
Magnet Pull body press. Oh, that's funny.
To take it on. And you run like Rocky Helmet, I think, to because it needs one bit of chip damage to one hit with body press or something.
That's actually really funny.
Jeez. It was a team that did this.
Yeah.
To hit a good rating.
All right. We are at Dusknoir. That is just not viable. As long as Dusclops exist, this Pokemon will never have a job.
Gen 4 is the gen of being outclassed by your younger self.
It literally is.
There's so many of these.
Everything in this gen is just outclassed by its younger self. Except for this. Snorunt is awful. That being said, this thing, Frostlass, just doesn't have a lot going for it. It has the Fake Out immunity. It has like an okay speed tier. Icy Wind's kind of cool, but there's just a lot of Pokemon that do things that this thing wants to do better. What even is its speed tier? It's like over 100, right? Isn't it like 115?
It's a good speed tier.
110. Yeah, it's fine. It's just the 80 special attack and like low bulk makes it kind of undesirable. All right, every Rotom form. We're going to speed run this one. And it's just going to be whether it's good or bad with very little explanation in Gen 9 VGC. Are they in Gen 9 VGC? The Rotoms exist, right?
They're in Gen 9. Yeah, they're in Gen 9.
Yeah, they're in Gen 9. I haven't seen them in a minute because there's just better electric types and better water types. Rotom Wash, niche. Rotom Fire, niche. Rotom Grass, niche. And the rest are bad. The rest are bad. Even the Pokedex. We can make jokes about Levitate flying types another time. The Lake Spirits. The only niche that they have is Uxie at one point ran Imprison Trick Room, and it was a very fast Imprison user. That was cool. Not that it mattered because it was Trick Room, but I think it also imprisoned like something that mattered. I can't remember. They got a new move that boosts their special attack every time they use it, but it can miss, so it's kind of bad. They're all kind of like the same. They're all like around where Rotom is.
That's regrettable.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think Uxie would be alright, but I guess Cresselia is
yeah, it's the existence of Cresselia just makes all these guys not super useful. And also, they're the only Pokemon in the game that learn Expanding Force by level up. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Did you know that they're levitating and can't use expanding force to its fullest potential?
It's regrettable.
It is.
It's unfortunate.
We'll do Dialga and Palkia last. Like, all like the box legendaries
Restricted.
last, just because it's like we kind of have to compare them differently. Heatran, it is probably the best Pokemon in this gen. In doubles, it has great results. It was at one point even used as like a niche Terapagos answer in Gen 9 VGC because Magma Storm made it so Terapagos could never get back to full HP and keep its Terra Shell. It also trapped it in so that like Zamazenta had an easier time dealing with it. It also was a niche Zamazenta answer because you could Magma Storm the Zamazenta and Terra Fairy or Terra Grass. So it's just an overall great Pokemon. And of course, Cresselia. Probably, I would say Cresselia is the best of all these Pokemon. Trick Room, Helping Hand, Ice Beam, Icy Wind, Moonblast, and most importantly, it has that new move, Lunar Blessing, which is just healing for 30% on all your Pokemon. It's a Citrus Berry plus a Lumberry. That is the best way to describe it. You just eat both of them at the same time, making it so Ursaluna can just consistently go back up to full, and even though its burn goes away, it gets it back just in time to click Earthquake next turn. And the rest of these are mythicals, but I'll get a Cresselia in singles. I don't think I see it ever.
Bad, yeah. Unfortunately, it's a doubles Pokemon.
Yeah.
It has some niches every now and then. And I think there was a time when there was like Terra Poison, Stored Power, Calm Mind, Cresselia, or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a sweep.
Oh, wait. I forgot Regigigas. This is very niche. Very, very niche. Probably the top of niche. It is a Wheezing partner. Not the best Wheezing partner, but yeah.
Neutralizing gas.
Yes. Depends heavily on Wheezing. Dialga, though. Keep in mind that when we rank the legendaries, these legendaries are not ranked with respect to anything else on this list, but rather with respect to other legendaries because they compete in their own little league. Dialga is extremely niche. It has Trick Room and a decent matchup into Pokemon like Calyrex Shadow and Calyrex Ice. It is just a whatever Pokemon, and the same goes for Palkia. Palkia is a little bit better in some formats. I would argue that it's probably the better of the two currently. No, I think it's the worst of the two, actually. It's just that, well, it has less weaknesses. It doesn't have a ton going for it, and it only really works in formats where you can choose two legendaries. And even then, in formats where you can choose two legendaries instead of one, it's just like a Trick Room bot with access to like Flamethrower and a Water move. It's kind of just a weird coverage Pokemon. That's about it. Crit sets are kind of cool.
It's unfortunate that Dialga and Palkia feel very outdated in modern times. They're just sort of stat sticks. I don't know. It's the same in Ubers, Gen 9 Ubers.
Yeah.
They don't do it
also,
very
Giratina.
much.
Giratina is awful. Giratina is just one of the worst Pokemon, genuinely, that you can run as a restricted. It doesn't hit hard, doesn't eat hits, doesn't have Roost.
Damn.
I think it lost Roost. It might have used to have it. Yeah. Reg J, the only format that allowed for mythicals. I believe that's hard to rank these just because like no one cared about Reg J, but I think Manaphy was niche because I had Tail Glow, and you can talk about that in singles, I guess.
Well, Manaphy's banned in a few gens in singles, yeah. Because of hydration and in Gen 5, especially with Permanent Rain, it was really broken.
Mm-hmm.
And Tail Glow was pretty powerful for many years. Actually, in Gen 9, it's not very good anymore, though. Just kind of slow, and base 100 across the board is not the best.
Yeah.
Poor matchups into common fellas.
Oh, wait. Technically, I have to rank Fione. It's not viable. Darkrai.
Wouldn't Darkrai be insane in VGC?
You know, you'd think so. In Reg J, it existed. We didn't have any official tournaments with Reg J because it was like an online-only format. It was okay. People would run it next to Gravity Calyrex Shadow Rider. Well, the thing is, they nerfed Dark Void. Dark Void is now less accurate than Hypnosis.
That's why you're in Gravity, though.
Yeah, so you would run it next to Gravity Calyrex Shadow Rider, and that was all it would do. It's just Gravity Calyrex, Dark Void, and then the next turn you Astral Barrage. That was basically it. The Shamans were absolutely terrible. Some of the worst Pokemon that you could run in doubles, especially Shaman Sky.
In that regulation, were the mythicals considered restricted or just...
They were, and that's the reason they were so bad, is you had to choose this or a Kyogre. Okay. So it was Manaphy or Kyogre. It was Shaman or Rayquaza. You know, it's kind of hard to choose. Arceus, though, immediately, we're just going to rank all of them at once. This is the best Pokemon on the list. Arceus, Swords Dance, Extreme Speed Killer, next to Shenpao, was stupid broken. This was the only normal type.
No surprise there.
Yeah. But yeah.
The wonderful Pokemon and such.
Same in singles, huh?
Yeah, it's one of the greatest Pokemon ever.
Yeah. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything, because I feel like I always miss something in these lists, but I don't think so.
Did you miss Hippopotas with Eviolite?
Hippopotas with Eviolite, that's going right next to Stunky. Thank you, everyone, for watching. But yeah, it's just, I brought Jimothy on. A little bit of like a goofy little video. I just need a second voice when I rank these things, especially some singles fun facts.
It was a delight to be here on the Moxie Boosted channel.
Yes.
I'm very deeply honored. Thank you for having me.
And with the Year of the Horse coming up, you are dropping Mag Cargo content, right?
Of course. I've got a lot planned for the Year of the Horse.
Incredible. All right, that's
Please
gonna be
stay tuned for the Year of the Horse.
Yeah, that's gonna be it for us. I'll make sure Jimothy is. I'll make it a collab. So it's, you know, if you subscribe to me, you subscribe to Jimothy too. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.